And we know also what is happening in this banditry. Every day, some people will be killed. Every day there are rapes. If you ask Abdullah our data, I am just coming from Kurfi. And then one lady came to us, telling us that she went to see her daughter who gave birth. And then the bandit came. They asked her to hold the baby and they raped the daughter.
Mr. President!
And then after, they asked the daughter to hold the baby and they raped the mother. This is what is going on every day. And a lot of some of these people are on tape. So when somebody is want to protect something, there is nothing to protect. It's the reality on the ground and it's a shame for us.
So good evening, everyone. Mazel, once more speaking to us. I hope that you will hear me, that you hear me clearly, loud and clear. So this evening, as my topic suggests, obviously, I just want to make sure that every one of us, we are doing all right. And as usual, I want to know where you are watching me from. Those of you on Facebook and those of you on YouTube, I would want to know where you are watching me from. I am your host this evening, and the conversation that we are going to have as a people is going to be centered, as the topic suggests, on what obviously about insecurity that has been happening in the country called Nigeria, and that we are sadly part of. And somehow we must find a way to get to a point of resolving what I call the disputes, whether you like it or not. A lot of things are being put in question as it is now. No one before, and sometimes not the violence doesn't gladden my heart, but what gladdens my heart is that the cry for injustice is no longer an Igbo thing, because for so long did people speak up and all you hear, oh, these Igbo people, they keep making noise. These Igbo people, they keep doing this, they keep doing the other one. It's no longer an Igbo thing. The chicken, sadly, has come home to roost. So it is no longer about Igbo. It is no longer about, these people, their people. Now every single person is feeling the heat. The heat is on. The heat of the moment is on. So I have about 4 topics that I would actually, if you look at the lower third banner there, the first thing is that it appears that there is a crack between Mbaka and the governor of Imo State. You know why I laugh? I keep laughing. I remember during the campaign when Mbaka suddenly said Peter Obi, whom his crime was that he was going to sow seed in his church, but he was going to do it discreetly as a man of honor, not just throwing money in the air. And Mbaka called him back and said, no, do it. And when Peter refused, and he basically wasn't happy, and he started prophesying, and eventually said that, which I believe that wasn't a prophecy, that was an insider job. I didn't say it. You know why I'm laughing? I'm laughing because when 2 elephants fight, when 2 elephants do their barakboism, in the words of Patrick Obiagbon, barakboism, the one that can chew and jojo with long grammar that sometimes you don't even know if they do exist in the dictionary. Having said all this, once more, I want to welcome you once more to Njenje Media TV. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please kindly do. It doesn't cost anything. Just that bing, you just click it, And remember to put the bell icon whenever we upload or whenever I'm live, so that you don't need to be waiting. It pops up on your device saying, Mazes OK is live. Go join him. Let's have a conversation. And before I start, I'll say thank you, every one of you who wished me a happy birthday. Many of you, you guys showed me so much love. It made me blush. So much love. My birthday was on the 24th of April, and incidentally, on a Saturday. So, I mean, what more can I ask for? Having a birthday on a Saturday, you are relaxing at home and with your family. So, and I say thank you very much. And those of you who said, what can you give Mazi? Mazi is like a god. He doesn't, in Igbo we say, meaning he doesn't eat yam. He doesn't eat cocoyam. So what can you give him? In real sense, I mean nothing. Your prayers are wonderful. Your prayers are wonderful. I used the time of my birthday to reflect on so many things. Eventually, once the conversation gets going, we will get to, Eluchukwu said I should go to club. No, I'm too old for club. Come on. I hope you know that I'm a chief, and a proper one, a titled one. So we no longer go to club, And by the way, one has outgrown that. If I want to club, I club in my house. That's what a proper Igbo chief does, not in one kind of bar or the other. Okay, so if you insist on, those of you insisting on getting Mazi a gift, you can use the super chat. But the plank of the conversation this evening is centered on something. Go club. Dr. Benjamin, you don't carry go club. Which club? Benjamin, you get club. If you get club, Afikon. Exactly. Go club where the country is burning. The country is burning and you're talking about going club. Come on. Hello, Chuku. The country is burning. People are scared. People are scared, honestly. People are scared. Frank Uche said, chiefs go to club these days. No, you haven't met a proper one like Mazi OK that speaks the truth, irrespective of who else is God. It appears someone told me 2 days ago, Mazi, somebody told me that they don't want to appear on your shows because you ask difficult questions. I say, then sorry. I can't bring you and be painting you with with borrowed words, or as Macbeth would say, or rather address you in borrowed robes. No, you need to get and crack on to the meat of the matter by telling people the reasons, because the thing is, I belong to the street. I have ears to the street. My ears are on ground. Therefore, whatever you guys, you remember sometimes when I bring in people, I come online and say, tell me questions that you want me to ask this person. And I take those questions because even sometimes when I'm having these interviews, I read your questions and I hammer them with those questions if I forget. But most times, I already have those questions written down. And some people say, oh, why is that man not giving in-depth answers? Or the person tells me, oh, Mazi, if I knew, would have asked these questions, I would have gotten the answer. Sadly, I don't tell you what I'm going to ask you. That's what makes it intriguing, because I do my research. And the whole point is that we have conversation, that we have communication, and that you are able, you must be able to tell us these things. So now let's crack on. Thank you, everyone, once more for joining me. If you haven't shared this video, please share with someone else. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at who's going to share it now. Okay. Share it so that others can join us in this conversation. There is my favorite, one of my favorite quotes is from my mentor, Chinua Achebe, who says, that the sun will shine on those who stand before it before it shines on those who kneels down under them. Now, and the reason why when people say action, action, Mazi, we need action, action, action. This is one thing, and the reason why I believe in conversation, because again, my mentor, I keep using him. And the Chinua Achebe said, among the Igbos, the act of conversation is regarded very highly, and proverbs, the palm oil with which words are eaten. Huh. May his soul still rest in peace. He was a great man indeed, and I cherish him quite a lot. Again, for many of you who will think, there is no more hope, or you haven't done good enough, I'll tell you one thing. The lizard jumped from an Iroko tree, so high, the tallest tree in the motherland. And when the lizard hit the ground, he looked left, looked right, no one was there. And the lizard, Agama lizard, nodded his head and said to himself, well, if no one will praise me from falling from the Iroko tree, I will do it to myself. So pat yourself a little bit on the back and say, well, you've done well. On that note, I will say thank you once more for joining me. Please, 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 while we are Biafran for Son, thank you very much. Share it. Exactly. See? So let others know that this conversation is happening. Let us hit 1,000. Can we make it happen? 1,000 people. Just invite others. Okay. I saw this video. I will start while you're doing the, I saw this video of, like I said at the beginning, Rochas Okorocha, where, no, not Rochas, of Father Mbaka. Now, Father Mbaka is crying that Hope Uzodimma has abandoned him. Have a listen. That's, I find it very funny. Sorry, pardon me if I laugh. He said, Hope Uzodimma came here. Hope Uzodimma came here under Holy Ghost invitation. Under Holy Ghost invitation. You know why I'm laughing? Now, wow. So, Holy Ghost on the right letter of invitation now. Holy Ghost, pay attention what Mbaka is saying. He said, Hope Uzodimma came under Holy Ghost invitation. Let's continue.
Put his hand on the altar and upon the book of life, and swore that he will take care of Imolites.
That he swore that he was going to take care of Imolite. Okay.
Very well. My people, do you know that since he won that election, I don't know, it was only 2 times or 3. Hope Uzodimma cannot pick my colleague.
Pardon me if I'm laughing. You know why I'm laughing? Oh, they are. Okay. I'll take this again, then I'll tell you why I'm laughing.
I don't know, it was only 2 times or 3. Hope Uzodimma cannot pick my colleague. I am not going to let him call me. If I call him to advise him on good governance or how to be good shepherd in
you. Political advisor. Have you left your job as a priest? Now you're engaging in political advisory. Remember the Mbaka cried out when, after Buhari won election in 2015, he started crying. Before Buhari won before Buhari's election. The reason why actually he supported Buhari was, in the middle of that election, he said that when Mama P, meaning Goodluck Jonathan's wife, visited him in Enugu Adoration Ground, that when she went back, that when he calls Jonathan, PAs will pick, not the Goodluck Jonathan that he was expecting. Therefore, he switched allegiance. Again, if you people forget, I don't. Like I showed us at the beginning, what Chinua Achebe says about Proverbs. And once more, I must remind us that if the pan canal that if you're breaking pan canal with stone, if the pan canal breaker is not counting. Pay attention. The stone with which you break the pan canal is counting for you. So if he thinks he's not, we are not paying attention, some of us are actually keeping tab. So what it means for me is very simple. He's now crying, saying that he wants to advise Hope Uzodimma. Hope Uzodimma has paid advisors, perhaps people who advise him, have clergymen in Imo State. So now, what do I think is the reason why he's calling Hope Uzodimma? Let him say that with his mouth.
Hope Uzodimma cannot. I kept quiet. Some of you may think he is eating and dining and whining with Mbaka. I don't know about Hope Uzodimma anymore.
If you ask me, the reason why he's crying is because he's not eating and dining with people. That's part of me. I found this thing cracked me. When I listened to it, I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop laughing because anyway, I'll let you guys watch it to the end. Let me stop laughing.
From that time till now. You can imagine when Hope will be celebrating 1 year of anniversary. We were not here about it. So stop linking for Mbaka to Hope Uzodimma. I don't know what he does. He doesn't want me to tell him what to do. If he has good advisors, all these things happening may not.
My brother, listen, don't take us for kids here. When there is a collective failure of leadership, starting from the head to the toe, there is no exception. Because all the states, the South has this violence. Every state in the nation has this violence. Northeast, Southeast, South, Southwest, everywhere. There is total confusion. You know why? Someone wrote a fantastic piece that I found very, very interesting. It says, unknown gunmen, and said, who are those? And he said, the unknown gunmen are those that the leaders have left unattended to for a very long time. Those that were born in a hospital that had no electricity. Those that their parents died because of just malaria drug. Those that their siblings died because of bad road. Those that SARS killed their brothers in their faces and told them that nothing will happen, that they can do it and do it again, and you could do absolutely nothing. Those are men and women who are angry and seeking for justice and seeking just to say, we exist, we are also here, we are also human. But you think if you had him there, if you have advised him, please, people shouldn't play on our intelligence. It's a business, okay? It's a deal. So when you do your deal, go sort it out. Don't come to the pulpit and and start complaining, okay?
Some of them prayer we have to God. This is 1 year and so by the end of 4 years, what will happen? People will get Omi from Imo to Omi. They will hold them Mubito. Then I'm with a ten and Bito from Imo to Omi. They are still Omi. He's making expensive, dirty mistakes. Nobody can advise him. Even from the order from where the power entered his hand. I don't know who he was. I'm not asking him to give me 1 naira. That might be
Mbaka is not true, Reverend Father. Don't flunk us. It's not true. You cannot say you're not asking him to give you 1 naira. Yet these were people you gathered. Remember when he came with Ganduja, that is the Kano State Governor Gandula. They promised to build a health center in your adoration. They promised to build a health center in your adoration ground. So you cannot tell us it's not about money. Come on, you're not talking to kids. What is it all about? Yeah? Have they built those hospitals that they promised you they were going to build? Listen, nah. ndị na-eri eri hụkwanụ ndị ibe ha. It's just ọkwụ onye eri imugu odumeje si onye akpara ọkpọ ka akpa onye ọzọ so Mbaka akpala gị. Mbaka akpala gị, please make it right.
Thank you. And go back. That if you believe it is their money, you may go with your money and Holy Spirit will ask me, don't touch it. And I will not touch it.
Yeah.
When the house of a governor is not,
Oh, yeah.
foundation will not destroy. What will just man do again? If the house of a governor could be burnt, what will the common man in Imo say?
Well, again, on that note, that is on the Mbaka versus Hope Uzodimma. My final analysis here is very simple. They have eventually, the only people I blame is you and I, because we allow ourselves to be used in the karo business. Because at the end of the day, remember when I had a conversation with Enyin Niabariban, many of you were shouting, "Oh, that's the type of man we want." I said, well, good. Then there are many Abaribes out there. We need to seek them out. Many of them don't have money, but we need to seek them out and ensure that they get a position of power, because they can now represent our aspirations. Now, I leave the realm of religiosity before some of you would get angry. Okay, I leave your pastors, your fathers. I don't get involved. Some of you, after my last video, where I said I don't believe in jazzing, some of you have been writing me a private message, Mazi, there is this jazz, there is this. Okay, I said one thing. I don't, tell me if you believe in jazzing. There is what they call Euro Million in Germany, in Spain, in London. Please, we need the whole money to fix our evil. That runs into billion. I tell you how many kilometers of road, how many thousands of youth I can employ with that money. Let us do all our street with interlock. Forget quota. We do serious Jukosbega interlock. 30 years warranty. When it goes down, if you, some of you are in Lagos, you remember Akbabo Costain. He has that kind of interlock. Even if when water washes them, we'll pick them, we'll put latrat, we'll refix them. So please let somebody now come inbox, get me that number, I'll play, let us win this money and fix our place and forget whatever is happening at the federal government. Having said that, my people, something is not right, and I must speak to us as my brothers, as my own people. The Nigerian state is not working. My brothers, we know that, and I know that as well. We live here. We all stay here. There is no electricity. Yes, it affects every single one of us. But please, I beg of us, we must not destroy the little we have. I'm on my knees. I beg of us, please. We must not, I repeat, destroy the little we have. We must. Now, tell us, I ask us this question. We are so marginalized that sometimes, I get emotional in talking about it because it really makes me angry. Really, when I say this, it really makes me angry. We're so marginalized that it took my personal intervention. The secondary school in my village, 2004, I was just jogging, normal early morning jogging, try to keep fit. And I came out there. It appeared like it was a war zone. So abandoned, wrecked, the roof blown up. And yet we had student schooling in that school. Brothers, I didn't give up. I mobilized. No, first, that was under Dr. Chris Ngige as the governor of Anambra State then. Why do I keep repeating this story? Because I want to tell us something. I wrote to the local government chairman then of Aguata. That was in 2006. No, 2005 was my November 2004 was my first letter. Early 2005, I wrote to the governor of my state of Anambra. What did the governor do? He sent cameramen to visit the school. That was it. That was all. I was told, the principal told me that the cameras, the principal was actually jubilating that cameramen came and they videoed everywhere. I said, it's not going to amount to anything. They came from ABS as a result of my protest. But at the end of the day, when the help wasn't forthcoming, I could not, in good conscience, stay. For, without sounding immodest, I think if you go to my Twitter handle at Mazezoke, at Mazezoke on Twitter, you will see it's a pinned message. Let me quickly see if I can actually bring it up. At least it might help us to, probably understand more of what I'm trying to say. Quickly, just bear with me. Let me quickly see if I can share that screen. Where is that? Twitter. Okay, so if you can see my screen here, oh, let me make it bold, sorry. So if you can see my screen here, I want to do the following for us so that, again, there is a reason I'm showing you this. This is before my intervention. You can imagine that this picture you're looking at is the best because they abandoned all these blocks you saw here, the two left one, they abandoned everything. This one you can see is leaking. The students abandoned every single thing, and this is where human beings were schooling, here. These were the ones good. You can see them in their uniform. So the failure of leadership in Igbo nation didn't start today. But what I'm telling you is that you and I can intervene rather than destroy. This is myself. The last picture on the right is me and my good friend Sebastian Manze, my classmate then in Germany, both of us using our bare hands to intervene in the smallest way we think we could at that point. In any little way we thought we could at that point, we were doing the little we can. Why am I showing us this? Is please, I beg us, we can help and build the Igbo nation rather than to destroy it. What concerns Njenje with the Igbo land? He's one man went to the mall. I was watching worship media, Dr. Chidi, and I saw you at some point he called you out that you appear to be a Wahala man. So here you are giving your own word. But again, the Igbo nation must be built. So why destroy? That's my concern. The reason why I'm showing this is because it hurts me when we keep burning the little infrastructure that we built ourselves. This school in 1976 was built by my father's contribution with other people in the community in 1976. If you come to my state and you see a post office, it is built by community effort. If you see a police station, it is built by community effort. We're not like other regions where government come in and build these things. Electricity is that we enjoy. The electricity, the pole, the wires, we buy them. Many people don't understand. I have a friend who's from Plateau. He came to Ezinifte, my community, and I was showing him around. I said, you can imagine we build all these things, yet NEPA will come and cut our, what manner of injustice is that? In all these people, I beg of us, as my brothers, I beg of us, we can, okay, look at that school. You can see how it was eventually when we finished. Look at how beautiful the school eventually became. And the children loved it. The school, as of that time, had about 100, according to the principal report, because everybody ran away from that community. Nobody was going to this community school lesson if at that point. It was about 124 pupils, right? But after my intervention, the school grew to 540. Now, question is, minus 540 from, minus 124 from 540, if one was given money individually, you couldn't have dreamt. One had no such resources to have given to everybody. But at least those interventions helps. We are not people who says public institutions or schools are haram or anything like that. No, we are not. That is not who we are. We are builders. We are a people that build anywhere we go. That's where you see, you cannot see anywhere that Onyibo comes in 1 year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Tell me an Igbo man who has lived in America for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years that hasn't got a house in America or in England or anywhere he lives. Because they are not a people that destroy. They are a people that build. So why do we have this sudden change of destroying public institution? Please. Yes, the injustices, I can't say, the injustices are there. It affects all of us. Even the local police stations will build them. The courts will build them with our own mega resources. Why do we have to destroy them? It hurts. It hurts. It hurts to see these things go up in flames. Because at the end of the day, I will tell us, it's not about giving the monkey the water. We must worry about extracting that drinking cup from the monkey. I hope we can read in between the line. I beg us, and that's my conclusion on that. There is this insecurity that is, you look at Benue, the basket of the nation. People can go to farm. At least I give it to them. I was arguing with somebody else. I give it to Benue people. At least their governor is speaking. At least their governor is not deaf and dumb. No, I disagree with you. We cannot burn it down to rebuild. No, I disagree with you. That's not how you make progress. You're going to use resources to build them back. Why? It's just like when people talk about war. I say every single war ever fought on this surface of the earth eventually ends up in a roundtable conversation. Then I ask, if we are smart enough, like the people of Norway, why is it that Norway, but one of the countries that probably will never go to war, you think they are idiots? But if we understand that we can still achieve some of these things without going to war, then I ask, why go to war be an issue? Even if you go to war, you still come down to a round table for you to make any meaningful progress. But it has to happen. Now, I watched a video on, what's it called again? I think that was a Channels TV. And when I see the lamentation of the people and the destruction in Benue, it also hurts me because the humanity, no matter what, we are not barbarians. And we cannot be barbarians. We are a people that cherish life. That's the way we are made. That's the stuff we are made of. That's why when I saw some of the videos that came from my state of Anambra 2 days ago, it broke my heart. No matter whatever we say, that was needless. look at innocent girls. They lost their lives. We all have children. You know, when Rwandan genocide started, this is how. When we begin to dehumanize ourselves to the point that we no longer see the humanity in each and every one of us, and we begin to view each one of us as objects, it hurts. It hurts that we will descend to that level. That does not mean that one supports the barbarity of the other side. No. It is a crime against humanity, but please let us not join in that crime against humanity. Yes, self-defense, of course, that is our inalienable right. We must self-defend ourselves. But is self-defense to go kill innocent children? I look at this, it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right. Whether you agree, you don't agree, but it doesn't make it right. That's my honest, candid opinion. It took me, sometimes listen, everyone is afraid. No one wants to speak up. No one wants to make sense. But at some point, you might want, after, you can ban me, you can, unsubscribe after watching. But again, at some point in our subconsciousness, let us think deeper. There are some of these things we can do better. Are our leaders getting it right? Hell no, they are not. Most of these things happening today, it's their own creation because they did not act when they're supposed to have acted. Because, you look at it and you think, well, how did we even get here? Is it the one in the Northeast that they didn't act at the point they ought to have acted? No. Is it the one? Anyway, let's head down to Benue and let's see what the people of Benue have to say.
We want justice. Justice must prevail. We want you to allow us to AK-47, the same way Fulanis are using. Yes. Yesterday we saw them with our eyes. They were speaking Fulanis, not armed bandits. It was Fulanis, we saw them. They came and attacked this village. They killed more than 20 people. Their aim was to attack the IDP camp. But because of the neighboring villages, they killed and some people with injured others. Some are at the hospital right now. Mr. President, if you know you are in power, if you know you're the president of this country, we voted for you, and you must rise and do something. Else, we'll do our best. We must do our best. My name is Mr. Amos Amo. I'm the youth leader of this community. This is Abagana village. Thank you.
I'm from this community. At about 12 o'clock last night, or this morning, I was walking with the news that the Fulani headsmen have killed so many people in this community. And this is not the only community presiding over. They were recently, just about 5 days ago, they killed so many within the same community. And they have been killing, there have been so many killings, and we, as a community, we say this should be the last killing. Otherwise, we go to self-help. Self-help. If government cannot, the federal government has refused to provide security for the community, provide security for people of Benue State and Nigeria at large. So we resort to self-help. How many people are here today? We can see 6 corpses, others are in the hospital. We do not know how many.
I'm the prominent son of Benue State. This is my place. Mbaka. Hallelujah. This is Mbaka. They say anybody that move with cutlass, they should arrest him. The Fulanis that move with AK.
That we're being overstretched.
And that is, for one's sanity, that's why sometimes I don't want to talk because Nigeria will make you so sick. The injustice sometimes is so glaring. You disarm the people. You take their cutlasses. You take their machete. And these invaders come. The people have nothing to defend themselves again. In Benue, you wake up, you hear, the other time that was a boy. Some of these videos and you look at them, you think, what manner of barbarism would make someone machete innocent people sleeping in their houses? What manner of barbarism, what manner of human beings? I mean, are they high on something? We are just looking at Benue. The other, okay. Afterwards, I will show us even, I think it's Niger State, where the governor is saying, oh, they are heading towards Abuja. It's time. Anyway, I think that the president now, I wonder, do we actually have a president? Is there an oracle that he doesn't speak? For Christ's sake, your country citizens are being killed and you just keep your mouth shut, and every member of your party is keeping quiet because they don't want to offend you. Not offending you for what? I tell people, listen, hate the Igbo man. The Igbo man is a businessman. He knows bad market when he sees one. Ask yourself, he came with Umez, okay? Why did Igbo reject him? He came with the Chubo Kadibo. Why did Igbo reject him? He came with a pastor, Pastor Tunde Bakare. Why did Igbo reject him? It's not about hatred. Go and think back. When an adult sees something sitting down, a child climbs the Roko tree, the child won't see the same thing. The Igbos in this case are the adult. They saw all these things coming. Everybody hated them. Oh, Igbos, yeah, you didn't vote Buhari, therefore he shouldn't do second Niger bridge for you. I would say stick the second Niger bridge in your behind. Oh, they didn't vote him, therefore they shouldn't get any appointment. I see no appointment to help. Castina, your place of birth, 6 years. Can you go to Castina without the troop following you? Can you go? Tell me what Castina has now better even than the poorest state in the southeast that is Ebony. Tell me what Castina has. Yes, we have presidents, but so what? For Christ's sake, these are human lives. We're talking about human lives here. You just kill people randomly and you have someone, anyway, somebody just knocked me by the side and said, forget now, but about the year, you get ear infection. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. Maybe because it's the ear infection.
And due process. You can see that the people are fed up. Mr. President must rise up. He's the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and over the 200.
No, he's not the president. So he's not the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria. No, he's not. Because I don't see how he can be the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria and all these things is happening. He has never addressed the nation for once, not half a time. His address will be through third party. Is it an oracle that you go and beg with yam and kola nut so that he will do and they say, the oracle has spoken. Damn it. What manner of everyone? Sometimes, listen, people, my prayer for every one of you watching me, may those who control your lips, may you not be in a position that you cannot speak because somebody is paying you. That's what I see. A lot of people wouldn't speak up. Oh, yeah, we don't want to hurt the presidency. We don't. Nigeria will make you somebody sometimes. Nigeria will make somebody good nuts, I tell you. I wish there is. It's just like a nightmare.
That are in this country,
honestly,
Mr. President is their president. They voted him. We all voted him. He's our president. He has taken oath of office to secure the country and provide security for lives and property. This is unacceptable. This cannot continue. Mr. President cannot continue to be aloof. Mr. President must rise up to address the nation himself, not by Shehu or any of his assistants. Mr. President must tell us.
Address the nation. You see, it really gets my blood to a breaking point. How can you be begging? When must it be? You go to London to hospital, they beg you to address the nation. And SARS, the youth are saying this madness must stop. Everybody, 1 week, 2 weeks, standing on the road, we want the president to address you. You see, some of you, when I write and I call him oracle, maybe you need to understand me. I see him as an oracle that, he doesn't talk. He just probably stays there. No empathy, no compassion. Don't you know you can win the people over for Christ's sake? This crisis that that the nation is not in is not unsurmountable. You can win the people over. A smart president would have visited some of the sites, empathized with the people. Many of you saw the picture of what's it called? The American president, Biden, when he knelt down as a symbolic thing in front of George Floyd's daughter. Humility. He doesn't take anything for.
Where we are going in this country,
Nigeria is not good for our mental
this
health.
is too much. We are being overstretched, and this is not acceptable. The body language, the action and inaction of Mr. President shows that he's only the president of Fulani people. I have warned this. I have written to him, I have written to the security agencies that Mayor called the meeting in Yola and said that except we repeal the prohibition of open grazing law, otherwise nobody will know peace. They will kill, they will maim, they will rape, they will do all kinds of atrocities. They have started doing it. And it's amazing. We are becoming a banana republic. If we have a president, Mr. President.
We are becoming. Are you, Mr. Governor, are you just waking up now? We have gone past that again. You're talking about we are becoming. If all these elected officials, some of them, they can't go to their houses now, you're talking about we are becoming. Where is law and order? Where is law and order?
Gives order. Give security agencies order to shoot at sight whosoever is having AK-47. And then the Minister of Defense came out to say that they cannot shoot at sight. Those people should be prosecuted. So who is Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces? So this kind of game, these lies, this falsehood that is being played out, it is not acceptable. It is better for me not to be alive to see this kind of shame of leadership. But what is going on? Nigerians, my colleagues, governors, we must arise and impress on the president to call a security summit. If possible, ensure that state of emergency is declared on security so that all hands will be on deck to address this matter. But what is happening now, me, it is very clear. Mr. President is just working for this Fulanis to take over the whole country. His body language is what is being played out. Mr. President gives order, and another person, minister, come and counter it. Is that not a shame? Just like the First Lady said some time ago, where are the men in this country to come out and confront this? That is Mr. President's wife coming out to lament and to cry and to say that Nigerians should arise, that something is wrong. The president must tell us what is wrong with him so that we can all help him. I want to call on my colleagues, the governors, because after presidency.
Oh, pardon me for laughing. I need to calm down. Ortom has become a medical doctor. He says the president should tell him what is wrong so that they can help him. Henceforth, I'll call you Dr. Ortom, so that you can help Buhari. He's been going to London. I mean, oh, come on, people. You have a nation where you budget billions for your hospitals, yet your hospitals are not filling. You have a nation where you budget millions for roads, yet your roads are death trap. You have a nation that you can do road like human beings with minimal costs. You won't, yet your roads are death traps. Yet you have the costliest road construction in the world, whether that is done with Abubago or lion skin, I don't know. Whether that road is done, sometimes, honestly, it's just that I think the advent of WhatsApp is also not a good thing, because sometimes, at times, I just want to just disappear, just be on your own, because for somebody's mental health, the news, it's getting, it's now worse. It's per second. The news is just like, coming too fast. All of them, nothing palatable, nothing good, nothing. You have the APC restructuring conference, or rather whatever you did with the APC committee in 2017. In that, I have analyzed here, it has referendum as part of it. Please, can you and the government implement? Oh, we have 419 people watching. That is 419. Oh, there. For a moment, I thought 419. 419. What does that mean? Oh, but we'll see. We'll see. Sometimes I think, sometimes I think, okay, listen to this. In all these things happening, everybody's looking for solution. This is what Sheikh Gumi, this is his own solution.
Hearts cannot walk in Nigeria anymore. Not even religious. Either we sit down and iron things out peacefully, or we suffer, then we come and do what we are supposed to do. Let's sit down and iron out things. Even Boko Haram, we have reliable information. Many of their leaders, are ready to drop down their weapons. Power is shared according to your size, not according to your power, capability, or resources you control. There are some people in the middle that are agitating. Now they are joining the Niger Deltans. Some raw Niger Deltans have sent a visual or the visual request to Boko Haram that let's come together and walk. You walk from the north, we walk from the south. He's not a terrorist sympathizer. Show me if one person has killed. He has not killed anybody. He has not ordered for killing anybody. Just discard the fake news and everything. The man is working with stabilizing a government among a section of youth which we like them to come and join in nation building. And you people were fighting them, then you say you trust people like Fantami. No, you should get more like him and put them in power. Don't remove him. You will regret.
You can imagine a person telling you, Pantami, that if you remove him, you will regret. I think, where are you? Are you still alive? If you remove Pantami, you will regret it. And this is happening. How? Did you understand what he basically said? Do not remove him. If you remove him, he will regret. From what the Buhari's government is doing, I have a video. I see those destabilizing those who are aggressors. They are the fox. They are the kites coming to take the chicken. Tell you, very soon this is what is going to happen. You see? they will come to take the chicken, the chicks. The chicken mother hen will do this playing. See that? You need to call this agriculture. That is what we call self-defense. Sadly, that is what you call self-defense, because the chicken is able to defend her territory and defend her children in a very courageous manner. Very, very courageous manner. Now, I call it the Book of Lamentation. The lamentation is getting louder and louder and louder. Even at the National Assembly, they are not left out. At the National Assembly,
we have a chapter. We cannot keep quiet any longer. It has gotten to the point that we cannot sleep with our 2 eyes closed. We are not free. Our children are not free. The president must rise to the occasion. There is no nation that is so powerful that it doesn't need support of other nations. Individuals cannot say you will lead the war without any other person with you. So we must rise. The situation is our security system has collapsed. It has failed. And because it has failed, we need to look for foreign support. It costs Nigeria nothing. Forget the ego, forget the superiority of Nigeria in African nations. Today, we are facing serious problems. If our nation is to survive this period, I'm not in doubt that the security architecture we have today cannot cope with what we are facing. Every part of this country is threatened. From the north to the south, nobody is safe. Nobody can travel 50 kilometers in our nation. I feel like shedding tears for a country that we grew up, where nobody harasses you when you travel from Lagos to Maiduguri. I don't need in time past. Today I cannot travel from here to Kaduna to Niger State where I was born. The president must know that this is a bad time for our nation. We must look for foreign support to save this nation. This is the position, Mr. President. We must rise to it. They are killing people in the east, in the west, in the south, in the north. We should shut down the National Assembly. Let's shut down. If we cannot save this country, we stay in our homes. Our country is bleeding. People are in poverty. There's no food. People are hungry. Insecurity is threatening us. We cannot pretend. It's better we are not here. There's no next thing that here. People are dying. Every day Nigerians are dying. We must rise to the occasion. And so me, Mr. President.
Senator. The message is gradually coming back home. The message now is gradually coming back home. The message is gradually coming back home. You can see he was nearly crying. This is no longer, it's no longer a child's play. Not even not even with those in government. As a Niger State governor will rightly tell us, listen to him as well. Because again,
critical and it's terrible. Last night we had over 3,000 people here from communities that have been displaced by bandits and Boko Haram elements around Bunya and Shiro local governments. However, some of them have started going back to their various homes, and there are some other communities that we think are safe, they can go back. But the vast majority of them will have to remain here because their towns have been taken over by bandits and Boko Haram elements. Their wives have been seized from them. Their wives have been forcefully attached to Boko Haram members elements. In fact, I just heard they've already placed their flag in Kabuli. So, which means they've taken over the territory. And this is what we have been engaging the federal government with. And unfortunately, it has now gotten to this stage that if care is not taken, nobody, not even Abuja, is safe. We have been saying this for long. We've been saying this, and all efforts have been in vain. I hope with the outcome of these banditry activities and terrorist activities, I hope the time has come now to see reasons for a very coordinated military action to take place so that we will displace. The Boko Haram elements are trying to use these areas as their home, just like they did in Sambisa. Well, Sambisa is hundreds of kilometers away from Abuja. But Kaure is less than 2 hours drive to Abuja. So nobody is safe anymore. Not even Abuja is safe.
You're talking about
So
Kaure.
this is the time to act.
You're talking
But
about
everybody,
Kaure.
all hands must be on deck.
What of Shiroro?
All hands must be on deck. It's not for Niger State alone, no. It's for everybody to act.
You know, what people don't understand is, I keep saying, who the president help? Niger State had Abu Salami Abubakar. Niger State had the Maradona, Babangida, Niger State. Yet, this is the governor of Niger State, IDB, living in this place where ex-presidents in their hometowns, now IDPs. I'm not a prophet, or wallahi, I'm not a prophet, but waiting my hand they see. If prophet see himself, you go drink one to know whether na spirit they talk, I mean a proper see you see. I'll tell you. Waiting my eye they see what I see it. I can't no go joy. What I see it is very, very dangerous. What I see it. Now, my good friend here, because not lamentation or anything, but there is always, in all these things, there is always a solution. And again, you might have a solution. One thing I want us to know, those who say divide this nation, those who say restructure, those like myself that believe in reverting to a confederation, aka Aburi Accord or 1963 Constitution, where we will revert back to region, what the founding fathers agreed on, stay up north, stay your west, eastern region stay on your own, make your tax, pay whatever, you know, for defense or whatever you have for, you know, to the center. Again, but there are options. The only problem is that the leaders appear to be right thinkers, because, you know, look at this way. I remember I had a conversation with Njenje here, and he was talking about how they can, or the Senate is thinking about coming up with something like, what's it called? During Yaradua again. Doctrine of necessity. And I was thinking about why knee-jerk approach, in my estimation, as opposed to really dealing with it. And that's why when I bring in local
when two compatibles meet, they can coexist if only they agree to agree and agree to disagree. But Nigeria, can we ever agree? My learned senior mentor, G.T. Gunye, senior advocate of the masses, recently said, a country does not survive solely because of forced unity. It survives on purpose and fruitfulness. This Nigerian house, he said, is falling.
Please, again, many of you, we don't use foul language on this platform, please. If you use foul language, you'll be blocked, please. You cannot call someone else who is watching a program with you. You can be using the FOO, I want to say the word, but you cannot. And you cannot be using the FU word on fellow human being. Come on, come on. You know, it's please, let's be mature. If you think you cannot behave, what I might do is actually, I can be very nice and remove the comment, but if that happens again, you'll be blocked on this platform, please.
Today, if it is not agitation for Odua Republic, it is movement for the actualization of Biafra, or Arewa threatening to send Igbos packing from the north. How about Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, oil theft and militancy, or the once upon a time OPC? Why is the previous government granted amnesty to militants who didn't ask them for it? The current government sees Biafran agitators as migrants that must be crushed, while rehabilitating repentant members of Boko Haram. Yet the victims are still crying daily for succor from the same government. If this is not injustice from a motherland, then I wonder how else you would define it. Yes, we mouth the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable. I laugh in vernacular. Some stakeholders have canvassed for fiscal federalism or return to the 1963 Republican Constitution, while others have argued that we either restructure, discuss our coexistence through a referendum, or go our separate ways. And like my brother and friend, Barrister Tio Wigbo, once asked, are we really afraid of going our separate ways if we guarantee justice, fairness, equity, peace, and security? I leave you to be the judge of that, though. While countries like Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, and USSR have all separated to foster equality, justice, security, and ethnic nationalism, we are here preaching unity, yet we have no solution to the genocide in Southern Kaduna, the illegal but officially condoned arms in the hands of killer headsmen, kidnappers, bandits roaming the country, the technically defeated Boko Haram, the amnesty militant, or the kidnappers. How about the corruption, nepotism, ineptitude, and barefaced selfishness and planlessness on the part of the political class, president, governor, lawmakers, and their likes? Make we sit down there and deceive ourselves. Czechoslovakia, which had a population of 16 million people, less than the Lagos population, separated into Czech and the Slovakia on the 1st of January 1993. Yugoslavia in 1991 was 23.2 million, barely more than Lagos population. It broke into 6 countries same year, all along ethnic lines, namely Bosnia, Herzegovina, Croatia, Macedonia, Montenegro, Serbia, and Slovenia. In Europe, the UK permitted regional autonomy to the Irish, the Scots, and the Welsh, while the English dominated Westminster. Switzerland has 4 ethnic groups. Each of them rotates the presidency annually through 7 cantons that constitute the federation unit. These countries, like every other, might have their problems, but they are stronger and fostering independence today. I will therefore advocate, as posited by Professor Wole Soyinka and Professor George Obiozo and a lot of other scholars, apart from those in government. Nigeria, as presently constituted, is structurally flawed and badly configured.
It's not working.
If not restructured either along regional lines or allowed to discuss their cohabitation, to whether agree to agree or agree to disagree, it might give way forcefully without the opportunity of proper tailoring. The North, if properly harnessed, can not only feed the entire West Africa, but can become a new Dubai. The Southwest can enhance our creativity to become another Silicon Valley if they weren't waiting for revenue from a feeding bottle center.
Exactly.
The Southeast, with accountable leadership and right infrastructure, can become the Japan of Africa, while the South-South can be able to look inward for possibilities that abound around them. Then we will indeed understand that united we fall, divided we stand.
Thank you very much. That was a very brilliant presentation. Again, and part of maturity here is that in seeking for solution, nobody is talking rubbish. Those who says it's outright secession, they don't want again, and no do again. It's not by force. However, many people will be saying, "Oh, we are done. You've done us enough injustice." Others might think, "Okay, yes, the injustice done to us is because we moved away from what was working for us in 1958, 59, 60, 61, 62, up to January 1966, when the military struck, and eventually the whole downward spiral that we engaged or we found ourselves in." Having said that, if that is the case, my greatest problem with this regime and this government is as follows. And I believe, honestly, that is the reason why this agitation is raging. My greatest, trouble with this government is lack of engagement. Lack of engagement. Imagine for 1 second, hate him or like him, Buhari calls Nnamdi Kanu and say, "Come, young man." To Buhari, he's a young man. To Buhari, I'm a young man. Not because he's the president, but because of age. Young man, come, let us sit down. There is no way Buhari, after having serious conversations with Nnamdi Kanu, that he couldn't find reason, at least, you have a 1 hour conversation. Yes, there is no way you will disagree on every single thing if you had your gray matters in between your skulls still intact. There is no way you can disagree entirely. There must be, because again, in life, nothing is cast on stone. It's give and take. It's lack of engagement. To a carpenter, everything you must be hammer, 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 military, go here, shoot, boo, the other day, boo, boo, boo. That's why we got all this mess. To the Shiite, a lot of injustice has been done to you. To the people of Benue, especially the Middle Belt, genocide or killings, call it massacre, call it genocide, call it anything, but at least something grave have happened within this region. Bring the leaders. Listen, there is no way you bring these people, all the agitators from the Niger Delta, they sit down with the president, with the vice president, that they can walk away and walk out of that room, remain the same again. No. They would have talked to whoever, if it's the vice president or the president, they would have talked in, be it in anger, shout, whatever. But you see, there is one thing. In conversation, even in anger, words are said that it's like seed. It's just like somebody having a grain of, grains of maize put in a big bowl, goes to a field, just throwing them around anyhow. Some will germinate, some will die. So not all words spoken would amount to everything. Imagine where this government had been engaging with leaders from all these regions. Not only the political leaders, no, leaders, some unelected. Leaders of the street, leaders of the community. What is it that these people want? And imagine where some people begin to submit their grievances, and generally their grievances begin, you look into them, but imagine, and I see all this, and somebody said, then you're dreaming. And I asked myself, maybe malaria, mosquito has bitten me enough that I can only be seeing and imagining things that could be possible. It appears we are not dealing with human beings, because if not, like I said at the beginning, the act of conversation opens door. The act of conversation, when you converse, with all due respect, and come, let us iron these things out. If it comes to a point that we say, okay, now this thing don't tire out, let us now go back. Okay, you insist, let us go back and ask our people. And these are processes. When we get, and you do a proper census, a proper referendum, which is when one man, one vote is a simple yes or no. At the end of the day, and the people, maybe 50% or maybe 51%, 52% says, we want to be on our own. That should be respected. Or 52% says, no, we still want to be in a confederation where you can practice Sharia in the north, do whatever, mine your gold, sell your zinc, do everything. Ranch your cow or let your cow destroy your farm, as long as it doesn't come to me, because I would use your cow for salad. If I see your cow on the street, I don't bloody care if it's the cow dealer in Ekulobia or in Abakaliki who is an Igbo person, or if I see a cow in Ekiti, whether it's a Ado Ekiti man that owns it or a Jabode man, it means absolutely nothing. But that cow will be slaughtered and fed with motherless babies home. Until we get to that point of having a conversation, we can advance to the next level of deciding. If it comes to the point where the people, because again, at the end of the day, you and I can disagree on methodology, but we must still know that it is the people that will decide who are the people. You and I are the people. So my anger in all these things, I can, we can lament, we can do all these things. My anger is lack of solution from those who call themselves progressive. It's lack of solution and lack of engagement for those who, how do I even find it? Let me get the view. Because when they are out of government, they know it all. But now, suddenly when they are in government, everybody becomes enough mumu that they no longer understand what all the problem that they provide solution now is. I had a video, let me see if I can find that quickly, from Erufai, where he honestly understood, analyzed what the problem was and how he blamed Jonathan. But sadly, when you now listen and when you now see him, you will never for once think that this is a man who once did this analysis and this man actually understood what the issue was. It boils down, and at the end of the day, it is a confirmation that the problem, as Chinua Achebe, I keep making reference to him because he's one man that made too much sense. He said that the problem of Nigeria is squarely, entirely that of leadership. Again, sadly, like him, hate him, he is right. The problem of Nigeria is squarely that of leadership. I'm trying to see if I can find that video because it might put some of these things in perspective for some of you who haven't watched that. Hold on quickly. And someone, okay, let me before I get to that video, I wish I can oh dear. So quickly, I would get to that video quickly and I would play that for you. Even Woloshenko at some point he's done and dusted, he's kind of don't talk to me anything about Nigeria. He's off. He's switched off. Really, when I say switch off, he's switched off. I will play. Okay, yes. Let me quickly play this one for you, so that you understand the mess that we are in, people. Okay, quickly grab this video. Where are you then? Come on. Yes. Okay. Okay, people. So, pardon me for that delay, but I'll quickly find the video. Okay. So before I do, let me play
have a period of their own challenges. When America was challenged, they turned to one great man, the ex-military general, General Eisenhower. Correct? When French was challenged, they turned to their general, Charles de Gaulle. Correct? When Britain was challenged, they turned to their great general, Winston Churchill. Correct? Today, Nigeria is challenged, economically challenged, physically challenged, security challenged. Who do we turn to? General Muhammad Buhari is the right man for the job. If you talk of military experience, he has his abundantly. If you talk of courage, he has it abundantly. If you talk of of simplicity, he has it abundantly. If you talk of great determination, a combination of vision and ability to perform, honesty and integrity, he has it abundantly. Abundant.
Hey.
Abundant. I love. I'm coming back up. I love. When
politicians cannot kill me, I tell you.
of Nigeria,
so
Poverty Development Party, they have nothing again to say. They now ask their integrity, the temerity, to question the qualification of General Buhari and look for a certificate.
Oh, there. So, sorry, but I can't help. So, all these people, Charles de Gaulle, Winston Churchill, blah, 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 they left their nation. So, where are we now? Oh, dear Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Now, if I go back a little bit, people, it's not alone. If I bring Erufai, you listen to Tinubu. I mean, why I am, you see, they say internet doesn't never forget. 10 years down the line, 20 years, people, all this video we are watching now, people will just say, Mazi, but you said this then. Of course, yes. That's why it's very good. Always be careful of what you say. Look at Erufai then. What he was telling us.
Competent, we'll be praising them and say that, oh, terrorism is happening. Jonathan is doing nothing. Well done, Jonathan. Are we supposed to do that? We are in opposition. Our job is to look at even good things that they are doing and say they are not doing it well. That is the job of opposition. So we have no apologies for pointing out to Nigerians that this government is incompetent and has failed to provide security. If you say we are politicizing it, fix the problem so that we can't politicize it. Okay? Are we politicizing breathing of air? Every Nigerian can breathe air. We can't politicize it because there is no problem there. But if you fail to supply petroleum products and we say you are failing, you say we are politicizing it. Fix the problem so that we don't politicize it. If you say that there is terrorism, we are politicizing it. Eliminate terrorism. 5 years ago, nobody is talking about terrorism in Nigeria. Under Jonathan, it has become an industry. And we should not take advantage of their failings so that we secure the votes of Nigerians in the next elections. There must be something wrong with them. We have made suggestions to the government on how to improve security. They have ignored it. They have set up 5.
Oga, you are now in government. Have people made suggestions to you? Why do we still have these people killing people right, left, and center? These propositions that you gave all the time, eloquently, Sahara Reporter, everybody was clapping, bo, 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 you're going to come and solve it. How market? 6 years down the line, how market? The general, you invited him. These, you invited him. Blah, you invited him. How market?
Different committees that have given them recommendations how to address this problem of terrorism in the last 3 years. They have not implemented one. They are incompetent. But they try to blame other people.
So at this stage that we are right now with terrorism in Nigeria, what do you think is the solution, especially on how to rescue the girls?
Look, the government has the solution to this problem. Several committees have given them recommendations. They should just implement the recommendations in their drawer. Okay? As for rescuing the girls, we have seen examples of what countries do when this situation happens. You should have military action on the one hand and negotiation on the other. You should not close anything because the lives of your citizens are at risk and you don't want to lose one life. You don't want to lose the life of one person. You don't want to lose the life of 250 girls. So whatever it takes to rescue those girls should be done. If one of these girls was Jonathan's daughter, the story will be different. The only reason why these girls are still in captivity is because they are not the daughter of any important man in Nigeria, and we know it. And
this one hurts, it hurts my head. It gives me headache. Now look at what he was saying, that the only reason why this was happening because Jonathan, blah, blah, blah. Are you aware? Actually, one of my personal account was, because I shared the video of those kidnappers. Yesterday, my personal account was suspended by YouTube because I shared that video on that platform. And thanks goodness it wasn't on this one. That means I wouldn't have been speaking to you this evening. But here is a solution that the reason why they weren't able to rescue those girls was because you are not, none of your children were involved. As we speak today, Greenfield School, kids in their hundreds taken away from their school. 3 the other day, 2 I think yesterday, in total 5 already. No longer with us. What is the government waiting for? With the reckless abandon, they come to Castina, for instance, the home of the president. And I ask myself, who the president help? Who does the president help? Schools are closed. Schools are closed. No schools. No schools. Because the girls will be kidnapped.
The only reason why these girls are still in captivity is because they are not the daughter of any important man in Nigeria, and we know it. And if you say I'm politicizing terrorism, go and rescue the girls so that I don't have a basis to politicize it.
So are you in support of negotiation?
I am in support of every option.
I'm in support of every option. You were the same person that said you paid herdsmen to stop killing people. Now you've moved to not supporting any ransom payment. But look at what you said. Internet never forgets.
You should not take any option off the table. You should be flexible. You should listen, you should negotiate, and look at the price you have to pay and get those girls out. You should not say you won't do this or you won't do that. This is irresponsible.
I think in actual sense, Buhari actually warned us of what he was going to do, but maybe some of us didn't pay enough attention. Let me show us that he knew what was about to happen to us. Listen to this. Pay attention.
Opportunity to serve again for additional 4 years. And Nigerians will know the difference.
Do you now know the difference?
We have got the opportunity to serve again for additional 4 years. And Nigerians will know the difference.
Oh dear.
We have got the opportunity to serve again for additional 4 years. And Nigerians will know the difference.
So my question to you, everyone, do you now know the difference? Do you? Because when we talk about this, there was a video I've once watched. The mercenaries that actually came, Jonathan hired the mercenaries to fight the Boko Harams. And there was one of the guys, one of the contractors, as they were called, said that after the election, that they were about routing out the Boko Haram away from Nigeria, but they were stopped. Actually, let me look for that video. For some of you who haven't watched it, watch the video here. I think I found it. Watch the video here. You see.
Behind occupied terrain, we would train the division in situ, in defensive positions, etc. But we were never allowed to execute the entire operation. So in 1 month, we took back terrain larger than Belgium from Boko Haram. We were not allowed to finish because it came at a time when governments were in the process of changing. I think President Jonathan's government possibly saw the entire Boko Haram contract, if we call it that, almost as a last gasp in order to regain popularity. The incoming president, President Buhari, was heavily supported by a foreign government, and one of the first missions was to terminate our contract.
Not from my mouth, please. Not. I won't tell you that somebody shit. The man talk say they were about finishing the job. Somebody stopped them. I won't say it. DSS, look, or DSS, please. I don't get any hair, please. Somebody stopped it. Let me ask the man. Oga, who stopped him?
The incoming president, President Buhari, was heavily supported by a foreign government, and one of the first missions was to terminate our contract. Could you name?
Did you hear the person that terminated the contract? I don't know. I can't. Maybe I need to clean my ear very well. I didn't hear what this man was saying, But somebody, bang, terminated the contract. All the inroads, everything the previous government was doing, bang, everything stopped. Now, for those of you joining me in the middle of days, again, the super chat is still there for us to use. And for those of you saying happy birthday still, thank you very much for wishing me a happy birthday. That was a couple of days back, 3-4 days. Having said that, please like this video by giving it a thumbs up. Share this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Here, we'll try to use soap to wash our brain so that we'll begin to think. We'll begin to think. All right. Sorry. I think something went wrong. I hope they are not sending missiles from that I should stop talking. If you're sending missiles, it doesn't matter. Missiles don't work. Okay? We have to say it the way it is. Now let us again, Oga, who stopped your operation when you wanted to finish?
Heavily supported by a foreign government, and one of the first missions was to terminate our contract. Could you name that foreign government? Yes, we were told it was the United States.
Obama!
And they had actually funded President Buhari's campaign. The campaign manager for President Buhari came from the US. And I'm not saying that the United States is bad. I understand foreign interests. But I would have thought that a threat such as Boko Haram on the integrity of the state of Nigeria ought to be actually a priority. It wasn't. Why do you think the US would intervene to abort such an operation? Again, I can't answer that. I think that the US can answer, but what I've come to realize is when a government's foreign interests clash with the state's own domestic interests, conflict is bound to ensue. And those conflicts usually just continue with no end. And we can look at all the conflicts in Africa where foreign forces have come in, they've prolonged those conflicts, they haven't ended those conflicts. The amount of money, manpower and equipment thrown at those conflicts says to me that something is wrong if no end result is achieved. And surely that end result should be to end the conflict and establish a basis for negotiations, come to an agreement and then re-establish governance. But that's not what's happening in Africa. How much did you charge the Nigerian government? Well, first of all, we didn't charge the Nigerian government. And I think here that is a question the Nigerian government can answer. We were one subcontractor. So in other words, the Nigerian government appointed a contractor and we contracted to that contractor as their subcontractor. So I think that's all I'll say. If you're really interested in the figures, that's for the Nigerian government to discuss.
You know, after watching this video, this is how I felt. I felt like this, the mother of this boy dancing here. That's how I felt. Yeah. I felt like the mother, the woman sitting down there. That's how I felt. I felt like smacking somebody.
Too much.
So, you know, when I watched the video, after watching it, I felt really, really, you know, what they call smackdown. Let me try.
Too much.
Before I die for Nigeria matter, make I laugh more. I mean, it's no longer funny. It's no longer funny. The other time you read the Air Force about going in somewhere, wow. Okoli, thank you very much for the super chat. It's going to go to the charity. Thank you very much. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate the super chat. Thank you, Okoli. Oh, there. EA Okoli. Thank you for the super chat. It's going to be part of the charity work we're going to do. But for that smackdown, Okoli, I think you deserve. I think you deserve this one. Okay, just for you, Okoli. Okoli, please. That's for you.
The mama just now you like too much.
Oh dear, pardon me. Work and no play. But that's the sound of that smack. Please pardon me. The sound of that smack is, you know, when I watch that, how we somehow blew an opportunity to actually route these guys out. Because if we had taken them out at that time, you know, it would have probably helped us at this point. You know, would have helped at this point, because the insecurity is getting to a point where it's driving ethnic hatred. The insecurity is getting to a point that is driving ethnic hatred. And I would once more want to conclude here why I agree with Professor Wole Soyinka. Many of you will say, oh, Wole Soyinka actually brought Buhari. No, he has only one vote. So it's only those people that actually voted for Buhari that we can all blame, not a man who just gave his mere opinion. So, but in this case, I think he's really felt like many of us.
Muhammadu Buhari administration in Nigeria.
Whose administration?
The Muhammadu Buhari administration.
I don't want to talk about Muhammad Buhari's administration at all. I think it's best for my sanity to avoid that overall question. I can take bits and pieces of Nigeria's present predicament, but I think for one sense of balance, one should just forget the existence of the Buhari administration.
You see, Prof said it. On that note, I will just give a couple of minutes for some of you if you want to make contribution. But please, if you want to do not hug the line. Do not, take too much time. Just make your contribution. Option is your contribution is going to be very, very brief and short. Let us go back to find a way to go back to 1963 Constitution, or maybe again, either way we go, it has to be something that must be subjected to referendum, basically. But assuming that we have the referendum and we are saying 1963, aka what was loosely agreed on Aburi as well, because that's what it was. That's what was virtually agreed on Aburi, where you have a loose center. You mine your oil, you mine your gold, you do your this, you do your the other one, in a loose federation, But here we are. Here we are again. And the whole thing is just unbelievable. So for those of you, if you want to make contribution, but again, it's not going to be more than 2 minutes, please, before we quickly call it a day, it's going to be in the next 10, more 10 minutes, then I will take, so that I wouldn't have made up my presentation without having any of your input. If you so wish to do that, ideally, I'll play an M.I. Akbara video, which I love playing all the time, because that is the type of leadership that we would want to see in the Igbo nation. Now,
they give treatment. Oh, but you will not show you how it is done.
He was able to use cocoa, palm oil, and a few other products locally to run one of the fastest growing economies in the world.
That he was named M.I. Power.
Later, Dr. Michael
Akbara took over at a time when there were no institutions.
Even though the eastern region was the poorest of the regions at the time.
He was a pioneer. He had to lay the foundation for this. Whatever he sets his hands on, which is good, he will see to it that it is done properly.
From January till December, there was always a new project, that was commissioned.
He's a very pragmatic person, but always rooted in the people.
Like that, as if he was so, he was in such a hurry that he wanted to do so much.
Unfortunately, the Civil War dislocated so many things.
I personally felt extremely sad.
Because the ideas and the principle which they stood for, their successors in many cases didn't follow. And that's where we are seeing to today.
Onyagala 1 year. That's leave nobody behind. Philosophy of the Igbo community. That's what it built into.
The politics of then was politics of principles.
Truth was that he was an honest man. He was really a nationalist. He didn't build a house, even in his hometown. He was a dedicated Nigerian of Igbo extraction. Down forever.
Remain, no matter what, he remains my hero. You see, I can't say that enough. Imagine where we still had the Sadwana controlling the north. Imagine where you had people like Awolowo, the great man, the great icon, controlling the southwest or the western region, and we had men like M.I. Akbara controlling the eastern region. Imagine where we would have been. We should be talking about Yoruba nation, getting close to one of the top financial hubs of Africa. Basically the way London is, that it is the financial hub of Europe. That's how probably that would have been. Then Taiwan and probably Japan, or even the eastern region would have been competing, because that was where they were heading to. M.I. Akbara had one of the fastest economy in the whole world, not in Nigeria, not in Africa, in the whole world, from from palm oil. When men wanted to construct 2 kilometers of road, they will be truthful, and that road will be constructed truthfully. Not nowadays, everything is inflated. But again, it appears there is something cooking in the system. The center, if care is not taken, very unlikely to hold. Again, sometimes it's like they say in Pidgin English, it's a sweet me. Like the way, I think that's probably what the kind of mindset we now need to have about this government, so that for our sanity, just like as Wolosho Inka did say. So if you're calling me, please make sure you turn down the device that you are listening me from. Make sure you turn it down so that I can connect. I have a caller who apparently is still says is connecting. And caller, if you can call back again or move to where you have a better signal, that could be very helpful. No, like what I'm saying. So you can imagine where Ahmadu Bello on that, in that way, stayed in their own place and they developed, and maybe they would have been the new Mecca. Who knows? But who cares? I'm not interested. I haven't been to Mecca. I've got no damn business going to Mecca. But at least, if I want to go to places that I feel that they are developmental oriented, I can visit those places and I can go and emulate one or two things. That's how I want to govern my place. That's how I want my place to be. Not just, being in a very squishy, disorganized manner and in a disorganized way. That is not, way to go. Having said that again, I say thank you, Woloshenka, for that description. Let's listen to that once more because
Muhammadu's Buhari administration in Nigeria.
Whose administration?
President Muhammadu's Buhari administration.
I don't want to talk about Muhammad Buhari's administration at all. I think it's best for my sanity to avoid that overall question. I can take bits and pieces of Nigeria's present predicament, but I think for one sense of balance, one should just forget the existence of the Buhari administration.
The government has failed to do its principal duty of protecting life or property of all beings inside its territory in Nigeria. And what happened, as I said, in Ekiti and Oshun, the number of military, police, other law enforcement agencies deployed to rig elections in favor of the ruling party, if those were effectively used in the Northeast, the end of the insurgency could have been met.
Now you have
and what I'm saying, the bottom line is that the government is not serious about curbing the insurgency in the Northeast.
So the government is not serious? I do not know how serious you are. Then,
will you
Mr.
look
President?
into the recommendations in the National Confab report?
Well, frankly, I haven't studied it. I have a problem with that conference. My problem is this, if you could recall. At the time, the government said it voted 7 billion naira for that conference. ASU was on strike. And teachers on the tertiary institutions, polytechnics, were on strike. These strikes were at least for a whole academic year. I think a serious government, if they have 7 billion naira to throw about, will go and negotiate with ASU, and then the teachers organization or teachers unions of the tertiary institutions from polytechnics downwards, so that our children should remain in school. Even complement equipment, and other social facilities, for educational institutions. I was so much personally against that thing because.
Okay, I mean, it helps put things in perspective so that you can know where he stands with some of these issues. It helps to put these things in perspective. At least now you know this is where he stands. No one could ever tell us, oh, we don't know where the president stands on this. And that sadly, when, we talk about restructuring, is it going to happen? And I can tell us free of charge, it is very, very unlikely to happen. Finally, in conclusion here, the solution will be, this is my solution. Yeah, hello. Yes, hello.
Is this Njenje Media TV?
Yes, you're onto Njenje Media TV and you're live.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for this opportunity. I'll start by saying thanks. You're doing a very good job. You're really a man. Truth be told, I mean, Dino Menaya once said, if we say the truth, we die. If we don't say we die. So it's a good thing you're saying the truth, but it's not for a lot of people to say the truth. I'll start with Wole Soyinka. Wole Soyinka, when he did campaign for Buhari, I don't know what was in his mind. I personally thought that
Sorry. Let's not turn history upside down. Wole Soyinka never and did not campaign for Buhari, please. The only thing was Wole Soyinka did a comparison. He was saying, if I had the opportunity of selecting these two, okay? So again, honestly, to be honest with you, Jonathan wasn't at that point. There was a lot of things many people also wanted him to do. And as one analyst said, he probably was the one that gave them the golden bullet to shoot him. You may continue.
Maybe I used the wrong word. At one point, he said it was okay for Soyinka, Buhari to, he said Buhari is a better candidate. And he has his choice to make.
Exactly. He only has one vote.
He only has one vote, yeah. I mean, that's his choice, and I respect that. But I personally knew that Buhari had nothing to offer. If he was zoned to the north, there were other northern politicians that had something to offer, but not Buhari. And I'm not for the tribalism. So there are other Southerners that did funny things. Example, Rotimi mentioned. One time he said they will run a parallel government. It's my brother, it's my cousin. I'll say the truth. So these guys, I don't know what they're saying now. They're not saying anything.
But you should know that it is very un-African to talk while you're eating.
Yeah, I understand, but that's terrible manners. But the thing is, if you call yourself, I see some of them jump up today. They're saying, "Oh, the truth is that would say the truth." Well, if you cannot say the truth, hello?
Yeah, I'm listening to you. You have 30 seconds more.
Okay, so let me rush down to it. So Buhari talked about corruption. Jonathan's government was very corrupt, embezzling money. I saw a lot of them here. I saw a lot of them one-on-one here embezzling money. But he is as corrupt, if not more corrupt than Jonathan, because nepotism is corruption. It's not a word corruption. I think the problem with Nigeria, the problem everywhere is equality and justice. If you treat people fair, everybody's chilling, everybody's happy. But when you mistreat people or you say, "Oh, this one is my person," who cares? When you were born, when you were in your mother's inside your mother, you didn't tell them you want to be an Igbo man. Just like Soyinka. So you just come out, you are who you are.
Exactly.
And, so your job is to do what is right. Not because somebody 2 days ago somebody who was campaigning to me here saying Tinubu will be the next president. He's going to make Nigeria like Dubai. I'm laughing like this guy is crazy.
Yeah, Lagos has become Dubai now.
Well, I read that.
Please, I will respond like Wole Soyinka here. Let us discuss let us discuss other matters. Yes. On that note, I will say thank you very much for calling. Thank you.
One more thing I really want to say, please, because you didn't let me say. I want to say something real quick.
Go ahead now. You've taken close to 5 minutes.
And that is the country called United States is almost as big as Africa. Yet we live together. But we find a little state like Nigeria. We can't even live together. Outside Igbo, Yoruba, terrorism. People are just.
But you've answered your question. I think it was probably more. No, someone is calling from Germany. So can you quickly call me only on WhatsApp calls, please, only. So if the last caller, you've actually answered your question. You said the United States is living together is very simple because the United States you made reference to, at least you have semblance of equity and fairness. The calamity you see befalling people in today in Nigeria is as a result of ill treatment. If people were treated right, there is no way somebody wakes up, apart from those who are cuckooed in their brain. You know, somebody wakes up and say he wants to antagonize something that is functional. Why everybody is crying, why things are going out of control is because there is no equity. If not, tell me why there is no equity, there is no fairness. Why would someone who comes into, I mean, just take my simple analogy I give all the time is, you are a farmer, your assets are fixed, they are static, they don't move. Somebody takes cow, boom, 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 comes, sees, you have maize, you have plantains, you have this, you have that. They are so doing very well. You invested millions, they've grown. Maybe in a month, in 6 weeks, 7 weeks, you harvest. Somebody comes, takes cow, boom, 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 goes in, eats everything off your farm. Now tell me who is the aggressor. If somebody in his right sense of mind ever thinks that the person who brought cows to your farmland is not the aggressor, then that person needs to be checked properly. And sadly, that's what is happening. That's why you don't have this equity and fairness. You know, you don't have justice. So I'm about to rounding up. Who am I speaking to and where are you calling from?
This is
Reverend
Wachuku.
Okay, Reverend Wachuku, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for bringing this to all of us who are your listeners.
Thank you.
And I also want to commend you the way you moderate your show. And I can see in you that you are not biased.
Thank you. Can you go straight to your point? We're rounding up.
Whatever is the best for the people.
Yes.
Okay. My point is, you see, Nigeria, a lot of people did not understand what Nigeria was and what it was heading to. There are some people who really...
You've gone mute. I think your connection is not great.
It was going to be against what they wanted. So they went against.
Go ahead.
OBJ is talking about fulanization. The middle belters are talking about fulanization. Even in those days when Ojukwu stood up to tell the whole Nigerians what was, people like Saruwe from the River State was against him. So right now, the whole thing has come down to what that gallant leader said. And anybody who does not understand it, has himself to blame, because one thing with these people is they do not want to stop that.
Go ahead. I think your connection is pretty bad. So I will take the next caller so that I round up. We don't keep this too long. I'll take the next. Oh, the next caller dropped as well. So if you be the last and the luckiest person, you can call now before we call it a day. At the end of the day, of course, I do understand what you mean, but again, I feel if we have to make progress, we need to regurgitate less about the past. Yes, we must learn from the past, but not, kind of always making an issue out of the past. If Ken Saro-Wiwa was to be alive today, I've seen those errors that were made at that time. Those that came, we now have what we call the Southern and Middle Belt Alliance. again, if you want to go back to history, you can say, oh, the Middle Belt, when it was convenient, they came and they obviously slaughtered the people of the old Eastern region. But we cannot kind of go back and stay only at that time. We have to make progress. And the progress is, today, some Yoruba leaders called me, trying to, engage me in some of, so that we can strategically align and do some of the things that they are doing. And in the course of our conversation, one of them brought up the issue of Awo and Z. I said, listen, if I need to make progress, I cannot get stuck while only fighting the wars of my fathers. Yes, mistakes were made then. We must reconcile these mistakes. Having known that you have a common enemy, you forge ahead because you think you are smart. When they overrun a component, you will be an easier one to also overrun. Therefore, it is and must remain strategic that all of us must come together, unite with a common purpose, understanding that we have something in common, and what we have in common is what is going to save us. Hello, who am I speaking to? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. You're speaking to Mazes. Okay, make it quick. Who am I speaking to? Where are you calling from?
My name is Gozie. I'm calling from Scotland, the United Kingdom.
Okay.
I was just trying this number because I've tried before and it wasn't going. So
okay.
Maybe I will join you on your next show.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks.
So, I think there is someone calling from one of the African countries. I think maybe South Africa +22. If you could give it a last go, I think Gozier took your place, an exception. And +277 and +21218. Quickly make your interventions, then we will call it a day. I would say for those of you who joined me so far, I would say thank you very much. I do not take your dedication. I do not take them lightly, and I will say thank you, and I quite appreciate that. So, who am I speaking to? Where are you calling from?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Who am I speaking to? Where are you calling from?
Yes, speaking to Chidera from South Africa.
Okay, South Africa. Yeah, go ahead and make your contribution very quickly, Chidera. Go ahead and make your contribution very quickly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mazi, I just want to number one.
You've gone mute again. I think you're reconnecting. Sorry, go ahead. Can you repeat what you said before? Okay. Can you go ahead?
Yeah. Yes. Just want to ask you a favor, Mazi. Okay. I must appreciate you are doing a good job, and we all appreciate your work. But in future, please, when you invite a guest in their program, and they don't have any fact, I know it is not part of your presentation this evening, but I have been following you for a long time now, and I have never missed a single program of yours. Even if I happen to do, I download them and watch the replay. Okay. Now, I watched a man called General coming to your program, and he came to accuse Igbo youth of being all sort of name he can lay his hand on. And I was also discussing when I was listening to a gentleman serving an army of Britain, retired also, and calling Mazinam Dekano, my own leader, a criminal. And you listen to him, and you never question him. I have listened to a lot of people in some channel TV and others. If you make accusation to Buhari or APC or anybody, the presenter will not allow you to go further if you don't have a fact. I heard the general mention with his own mouth that ESN and IPOB are doing kidnapping and the rest of them, and he did not caution him. Please, sir, in future when you invite somebody in your program, I know it's not intention, I won't blame you, but anybody, doesn't matter who, and came to call Nnamdi Kanu a criminal in their program and he don't present anything, please, if that person cannot present to you a fact to say, why would Nnamdi Kanu be a criminal to you and why is he a 419? And if general or whoever come tomorrow to say, okay, I have evidence that ESN have kidnapped anybody, are they do this and do that, you can now allow the person, rather than keeping quiet, watching this particular person, accusing ESN and the IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu, all sort of things without fact. That is not fair. And really, yeah, personally, I like you, but that particular program hurts me so much, and I have to tell you that.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your dedication, and also thank you for the feedback. It's always good to have feedback. Okay, thank you very much. That is much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
So again, people, we have overshot our time. I know many calls. I can see someone from Germany. Okay, because this guy from Germany have called me before, but as a courtesy, I'll probably ring him back in order to have his take. He's called multiple times. And please, can we, good evening once more. You're speaking to Mazes. Okay, you're live. Can I have your contribution? You're from Germany, that's correct?
Yeah.
Which city?
Mazes. Okay, good evening.
Yes, you're welcome.
Hello, B is my name. I'm from Cologne, Germany.
Okay, hello, B. Go ahead. You have 1 minute, please.
Okay. No, I just want to chip in something about the issue of Buhari begging the United States to come and assist in the fighting insecurity in Nigeria.
Yes.
I find it very, very funny, because at the first place, Buhari himself knows the insecurity in Nigeria. He's part and parcel of it. You understand?
Okay, as someone who called before told me to be doing, I said when accusations are made, I should ask for facts. So where are the facts that he is involved in it?
What I'm saying is
no, but do you have your facts?
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to tell you now. First of all, the issue of the service chiefs. When the service chiefs, the former service chiefs, when they are there, and all this insecurity, and the Buhari doesn't make any attempt to address it, every Nigerians are shouting, begging governors, especially the governor of Benue State and all these people. What did he do? After all these things, what he did is just to exchange them as career ambassadors. He just did an exchange, So, and the people then knows that he is hiding something. And there's something that these people that are the service chiefs, they all know, which many Nigerians didn't know.
Anyway, we don't.
Again, what I want to remind us is that remember that they want to float a Fulani radio in Fufude, which I don't know whether it have come or is still on the plan.
Okay. So
when you want to float a radio station that only a particular tribe, and this particular tribe are the people who are mostly accused of this insurgency and in Nigeria, then it becomes suspicious. That is the area where I find that is the area where everything. Yeah. So
thank you very much. I think no. Thank you.
Now you wanted to wait a minute. Now you wanted to bring the.
You can't. No. Listen. You can't tell me to wait a minute. I gave you 1 minute. Now it's almost 3 minutes.
Have I already used 1 minute?
You're more than getting to 3 minutes. Anyway, thank you very much for your time. Thank you. I think people, we have to learn about time management. Okay, some of you are suggesting that we publish what's it called, Telegram. I think one thing we have of course we have a Telegram group and we have a Telegram. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share the on the chat. I'm going to share the Telegram, so you can use the Telegram to make that call, or you can use that Telegram group to join the Telegram group, right? If I understand you right, if I understood you guys right. So that is now being shared. you can see that the Telegram now is on Facebook and is now on YouTube. So you can, if you want to call via Telegram, you can as well do that. Or you want to call using WhatsApp, you can also do that. So I will appreciate if you join the Telegram group. That's where any publication that comes on njenjemedia.com, which is a blog and a news website, you get that delivered automatically by a bot into your phone so that you can always be updated. And most times when we have conferences, if there is any conference that is oncoming, the Zoom conferences, we do share them in that place as well, so that as long as you keep a date, keep checking, and as the news updates on that Telegram group, you will be informed accordingly. On that note, I will say thank you, everyone, for making this conversation this evening so lively. It has been a wonderful time with you. As always, I must note, I must emphasis on that it has been a wonderful time. It has not been easy. One thing again that I must also tell us, that yes, this nation is not working. Things are not working out. And I would rather Georgia than war. I'll put it that way. I would rather Georgia than war, because war is not something that I would wish on ourselves, and war is not something that is easily also the effect. The one our parents fought, we're not yet out of it. We are not. How many years now? We are still suffering. Just like someone said in one of my shows, yes, we had on these platforms where, how do I put it? We haven't recovered. At the point of that crisis, some would argue that Ndibo were on top of their game everywhere in Nigeria and globally. But that war certainly set them too much backwards. And please, I beg us, in conclusion here, please, let us not join the League of Barbarians. Please. I hope you all know what I mean. On that note, I will say thank you once more for joining me. It has been a pleasure having you. If you can, if it's possible, I will once more ask you, if you haven't done so, kindly subscribe to this channel. If you have done so, I will say kindly share these videos for others to watch with you. Thank you once more, and I say au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, bye bye, Kachifo. Other ones, I don't know how many I still remember, but be that as it may, have a wonderful and a blessed evening. Good night.